there's always excitement going into every year. It's nice to be able to see some guys back out there doing stuff. Strider throwing, Riley. Just a couple of key guys that you just miss seeing out there every day. So looks like everybody had a good off season and ready to roll.
Chris kind of mentioned that there's a lot more going on last year than we could even see just injury-wise, and now you guys are healthy here. But what was your perspective looking back on last season, and now just how refreshing is it to probably have a full roster now?
Yeah, I think it's always going to be a part of seasons. Injuries, I think you have to do what you can in the middle of it to move on and have that next guy up. We got a lot of good contributions from the guys that came in, like Gio and Witt and Holmesy coming in, stepping in, eating some big innings. But to be able to get the guys that were there to start the year back, see them in the lineup, see them on the mound is big.
So much talk about what the Dodgers spent, but how much do you just kind of look at the names in this clubhouse and think you guys are as good as anybody still?
Yeah, we still got a lot of talent in here. We didn't perform the way we wanted last year, but last year it was a lot of people were talking about the team we had. Just because we didn't go out and spend a bunch of money doesn't mean anything inside here. We've got some good additions, obviously adding Profar and some other guys, but we love the squad we got.
As good as this lineup was 2 years ago, like you said, you add Profar to it. Coming off the year he had, you think people maybe are overlooking how good this lineup was or forgetting what you guys did a couple years ago when you were healthy?
I don't know. If you look at what we did last year, it wasn't great as a unit, so you got to go off that. Every season's different. Adding a guy like Profar, somebody who's dynamic, hits for power, average, both sides of the plate, somebody who can move around if you need to, and then just the same guys that we have, being able to at some point have Ronnie back at the top of the order. It's different when guys are going in and out of the lineup with injury. Murph goes out day one and misses months. It's easy to look at a name back in the lineup and assume that they're in midseason form, but he's doing spring training in the middle of June, and big league setting. It's tough to get your rhythm back, as personally and as a unit. So, like I said, we're excited to have everybody.
Now, last year, a year ago, AJ said World Series or bust almost this exact day. Is that confidence still there for this team?
The confidence is still there. We are not going to be making any statements like that. Baseball is a crazy sport. It's a long season. Anything can happen. If the best team on paper was awarded the trophy every year, then we'd just skip the season. It's not how it works. So we are very confident in the team we have, but no blanket statements this year.
How do you personally get back to your form from 2 years ago when you were hitting all those home runs? I know baseball is, it ebbs and flows, but for you, how do you think you get back to that form?
Just continue to work. It's, like I said, every season's different. You learn things as you go. It's the beauty of the game. That's why guys who are veterans and have a lot of experience are able to give advice to people. So you learn as you go. Game's constantly evolving. It's an ongoing chess match. So to be able to have an opportunity to look at a good year like I had 23 and try to replicate it is the fun of it.
One of the changes from year to year is Tim Hires coming in, new voice, maybe new message. I mean, how can that be beneficial to you and maybe the group at large?
Yeah, I've just heard great things about Tim. I think as a unit we have an opportunity to assess how it went last year as a whole. We didn't, no secret, we didn't perform as we wanted. So maybe you put it under a microscope a little more than maybe the year before when everything was clicking so well. And I think Tim's a great guy to come in and help us. It's good to have somebody from the outside kind of looking in. I'm sure there's going to be some insight that he has that he's had with previous teams and be able to mesh it into what we do.
For you personally, when you look back at how you played last year, kind of what thoughts or feelings have you had over the offseason?
Personally, it's not the year you set out to have. I was proud of the way I battled back in the second half and was able to help the team. I think made a good adjustment of just trying to do a little too much early on, and found a way to do what I do, which is drive in runs, provide a little power in the middle of the lineup. But it's like I said, it's the fun of it. You always get to go back to the drawing board and see how you can improve.
So is there anything when things were going really well, like in 2023, that you can pinpoint that you need to kind of replicate going into this year that maybe you weren't doing last year?
I saw a little more success last year when I just dropped the mechanics a little bit and went out and played the game. Be a little more approach based, and found myself early on the season just swinging because it was a strike. You're trying to. I got a broad view of the strike zone instead of narrowing in on what I do. That'd probably be my biggest takeaway.
I know walking in here felt a little different for us without Travi and Sal and some of those bigger personalities. What's it been like for you guys first couple of days at the facility without some of those dudes?
Yeah, obviously Trav and Sal are great people, and we're gonna love them and miss them for sure. But it's always going to be a business. There's always going to be some turnover. We got a ton of good guys in here. Like I said, brought in a few new guys who are awesome. So just to be able to get around and kind of build that chemistry with these new guys is going to be important.
It's not going to be for a few months, but I'd be dismissed not to ask what it will be like to have All-Star finally here in Atlanta, not only for you guys, but just the city.
Yeah, it'd be great. It's always a special time of year, and I think the Braves fans and the city are very deserving of it. So hopefully we have a good showing.
During spring training, there's always kind of like a young guy that kind of steps up that maybe was kind of going under the radar. Is there anyone you're excited to see during camp this year?
Put me on the spot there. I think as a whole we're watching everybody. A couple of names that just popped in my head. Waldrop. I know he had a little injury stuff last year, and then Baldwin. Those are a couple popping up. But we have a lot of guys who've been around and done it, which I think everybody always wants the new exciting toy. But in this game, the person who's shown they can produce, bringing in guys like De La Cruz, Cooper. I can look around and pick out a lot of names. Diekman, just some you guys who've been there and done it at the big league level for a while. I think that's the guys that maybe get overlooked for the new shiny toy a little bit, but they're also special.
Let me ask you about a shiny toy that's going to be back at the top of the lineup this year. I know obviously a lot of things went wrong a season ago injury-wise, and the lineup didn't produce the way you wanted to, but how big of an impact can Ronald Acuna Jr. make back at the top of the order?
I mean, he's if not the best, one of the best players in the game. His ability to step out there from pitch one and impact the game, whether he takes a walk and steals second or hits a ball 480 feet, or there's things that man can do that not everybody can, and it's always fun buying a ticket and watching him play, whether you're in the dugout or in the stands.
You mentioned you saw Strider. What have you just seen from him very early in camp, but just how is he looking?
Looks good. I think we all know Strider is going to be just dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. So he's been on top of all of his work. Looks great. He's coming back from injury, so hopefully he's not going too hard. I know Strider's mentality, but it sounds like they're progressing well. And everything seems to be on track.
Feeling different coming as a dad to camp this year?
Hopefully the dad strength kicks in.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.